for today's session. We have a representative from Himpunan Designer Interior Indonesia, Jakarta, the management of Tengku Abdul Rahman University College, academicians, students and all. First and foremost, I am Puan Norul Sadikin binti Muhammad Nordin, Interior Architecture Lecturer in TARC UC and one of the moderator for today's session. Okay, together with me, we have our principal lecturer, Lee Chowa. He is a principal of Lee Chowa Architect and past president of Pertubuhan Architect Malaysia and was the editor-in-chief of Architecture Malaysia as well as Architecture Asia. Okay, so basically this session is initiative collaboration between Bachelor of Interior Architecture program from School of Architecture, Tengku Abdul Rahman University College with HDII DKI Jakarta. Okay, so the theme for this session is all about culture in design. It's an exploration of the beautiful connection between Indonesia culture and design, right? So we would like to introduce a few key persons behind this event. We have the amazing woman, Ibu Rina Renville, currently a chairwoman of HDII. She graduated from ITB Interior Design, a design director and also owner of PT Digital Cipta Kreasi, and also curator and coordinator of Design Indonesia. Okay, so this afternoon also we have two honorable speakers with us who will be sharing their expertise. Pak Hendro Hanidata and from Studio Hendro Hanidata and Dr. IR Indra Jani from Binus University Jakarta. Okay, so basically Pak Hendro is a founder and currently a chief designer of Studio Hendro Hanidata in 2016. The studio design has been focused on designing objects, furniture and special design that carry modernism and integrating creativity, culture, context, craftsmanship, innovation as fundamental of works. Pak Hendro also has been exhibit his studio work all over the world, started with Casa by Bravakasa in 2014, IFFT Tokyo, Japan in 2018, Mention Object Paris 2019, and a long list of showcase within Indonesia itself. And the latest coming will be in Salon Satellite Milano 2020. So he has been an iconic furniture designer, not only in Indonesia, but throughout Asia. Right? And we come to our second speaker. Okay, our second speaker, Dr. IR Indra, currently a lecturer at Binus University Jakarta, and also a COO, Griot Penny at Batik U. She has started her studies in landscape architecture, bachelor and master, and pursue her PhD in environmental design culture heritage from University of Canberra, Australia in 2005. Ibu Indra also have been active in motivator kegiatan pelestarian budaya, khususnya batik dan perkainan. In bracket jahitan, okay? And kerja penelitian mandiri berkaitan batik Nusantara. And she also a membership with a few bodies which is Kain Indonesia, Kain Dunia, Watra Prema Wastra Indonesia, and also Asosiasi Profesi Batik dan Tenun Nusantara Benua. Okay, so without any further delay, I now invite our Associate Dean, Encik Megat Arif Shah from School of Architecture, TARC UC, for his welcome speech.
Hi, thank you, Panurus. Welcome to all guests and participants to this inaugural talk organized between TARC, Tengku Abdul Rahman University College and HDII in Jakarta. So we are very, very happy to have conducted this event or managed to plan this event because it is something very, very interesting and relevant, especially when it comes to design, since design cannot be separated from culture. Even though we have universal design or things that transcend boundaries, but the unique qualities are connected to the designers and the background and the culture. And I think our appreciation can only increase with this understanding. So with this, I think with all of the participants, our counterpart from Jakarta, Indonesia, thank you very much for also initiating with TARC College, Music College, yeah, this sort of event, and also to Puan Idaura as a program leader for the Bachelor of Interior Architecture for also taking the lead together with Ibu Rina for all talks and future events. So we hope that we can have more of such events in the future. Thank you.
Nurus, your mic.
Your mic.
All right. Thank you, Megat, for your welcome speech. And next, we welcome Ibu Rina, a chairwoman of HDII Jakarta, for her words.
Thank you very much, Ibu Sadikin. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, selamat siang semuanya. Honorable guests, Faculty of Built Environment School of Architecture, Tuanku Abdurrahman, University College, Associate Dean, School of Architect, Mr. Megat Arifsyah, apa kabar? Terima kasih. Program Leader Ibu Idaura Fadia, apa kabar? Terima kasih juga. And for TARC Senior Management, thank you very much. And yang terhormat Mr. Lee Chorwa, how are you? Nice to see you. So welcome also all the students from interior architectures, also architecture as well from other university. Selamat datang. I would like also welcome to all lecturers, students from Malaysia and Indonesia, designer, and also HDII member who joined today. So very welcome attending today webinar. It's about cultures in design. Actually, I'm very happy and proud, to present today collaborations. So today collaboration is in between HDII DKI with TARC is educational program to support and exchange for creative knowledge, regarding your class is actually your class is experiencing architecture module linked to Jakarta, Indonesia. And once again, I'm very happy to share today's session. It's about cultures in design. It's not only understanding and experiencing knowledge of culture, but we want to share also cultures of Indonesia. We know that we have such a diversity in terms of cultures, and we have a national differences, but we are very proud to present speaker, my friend from Indonesia, Pak Hendro. He's a furnitures and product designers. He will explain of local content and local material that we have in Indonesia, and of course some inspirations about Indonesia. And terima kasih juga untuk Ibu Indra Cahyani. She is going to talk about our proudly batik, the story behind and the pattern, and of course she's an expert. Terima kasih Ibu. We also want to see and to hear from you. Again, thank you very much to all the participants, not only from your class, but also from TARC invitation and UC management. I hope today it's not only the first online collaboration event. We can have continuing of partnership in the futures. Of course, we do some exchange and cultures between two countries. So good luck for everybody. Apa namanya? Terima kasih for coming. Today is very interesting. Terima kasih semuanya.
Thank you, Ibu Rina. Thank you for your welcome speech. All right. Okay. Before we start for our first session, can we take photo first? Can you switch on your camera, everybody, so that we have a fresh face in our camera before we start?
Okay.
Student, please switch on your camera. Okay. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Ready?
All done. Oh yeah. I thought it's done.
Okay. Smile.
One more time.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. All right. So just a little reminder before we get started. If you have any question during the presentation, please type them into the chat box in your control panel. I'll bring them up during the Q&A later. All right. So to begin first with our first session, I'll pass the floor to Early.
Very much, Nurus. Welcome all guests from Indonesia. Thank you for spending your afternoon with us and our students. Our first speaker is Mr. Hendro Hadinata, and he's going to talk to us about penerapan local content dalam design furniture. That is the application or the appropriation of local contents in furniture design. And since this session, this webinar is about design in culture or culture in design. In Malaysia, we got certain culture with the Chinese. We like number 8. So can we have the students to type 888 to welcome Mr. Hendro Hanidata? 888, everyone, please. 888. Yes, thank you very much. Okay, now over to you, Mr. Hendro Hanidata.
Yes, thank you very much. Hello everyone. Apa kabar semuanya? So happy to be here. Thank you for the chances give to me to talk and sharing about design process, about my design works. I'm a product design based in Jakarta. I do furniture design, object and spatial. I think I'm going to share about my presentation. Okay. It is okay. Okay. So this is my small team. We are based in Jakarta. We have like the team contain product design and content and interior design, because for me, designing, and then we are trying to find another co-working who is architect also. We love to create works based on different profession actually, because the uh, the thoughts and then bidang keilmuan also different. And then little bit about us. It's we are a very small team. We do furniture based on several we call it conceptual. We are very focusing thing on the how to build a product design based on like we are really have to take care about the mother nature, and then and then we have to really understand about the sustainability, and then also we have to take care about the values of the design and give some emotion. And then we also think about the every project for us. We also think about the future of the product, the future of our living, and then the technology itself. It's really important. And then after my exhibition in Japan and in Paris, I noticed several things like, okay, actually we can start to do something really different when we are look back on our cultural, just like architectural and interior, product design also contextual. I think when we are because tradition is been around there, it's been a very long time, because it contain a good things and people keep doing it. That's why the notion about keeping tradition for people, it's about it's universal also, and then give us not just a good design, yeah, but a very a different value, different level of value, meaning in the product design that we works. After we think about all of this point, and then for us, doing tradition is also creating things or learn about the local material, and then learn about indigenous techniques, and then give some narratives. And the most important thing for me is the design must be very contemporary. The design must be very kekinian, so it will be relevant into our new style lifestyle in the future. Every works come to us, we are always think about in pursuing of a good design. For Studio Hendro Hadinata, good design is always we want to simplify the complexity of the design through minimal and rational form. Because when you see all the design style, all the concept in this recently, everything is very simple, everything is very rational, everything is easy to mix and match. That's why the minimal and rational form, I think it's one of the answer for the good design. And then other things or other point is maintaining a feasibility solution in terms of production and manufacturing. I mean, when we do a good design, a beautiful design, but it's no point when the design cannot be produced, right? So maintaining the feasibility of the solution, and try to maximal the technique of the design, also technique of the production. I mean, also it's a very important part. The number 3 is creating value through emotional aspect. What I mean is sometimes we want to give a new perspective, a new meaningful notion of looking at an object. Sometimes we playing with nostalgia, sometimes with we playing with rational. Sometimes we playing with our everyday lives values. And then this is my sample for my product design. One of them is I designed for Karya Design. This is a very simple coffee table. It is why it should be very simple, because I think the most important is the design and the cultural context can be collide, and then the effect is, or the result should be a very contemporary, very relevant with the new lifestyle. The Bloom coffee table, we are using the optimizing the rotation effect. So when you have a small space, you can use it in the small way, but when you want to spread it in the uh, big occasion, you can still have it in the big one. So you can rotate it. The material is using a tie-dye. This tie-dye is very special. The tie-dye is from Sumatera Selatan, is from Musi Banyuasin. The tie-dye is actually is our some kind of batik also. It's created by people in the very far away from the city. The motif itself is it's called seven dots or titik tujuh. The motif is representing 7 tribes of people from Musi Banyuasin, and then all this kind of beautiful story, we can show in the fabric. So from the, and also the color, we get it from the extract of the gambir plant. So it's totally 100% eco-friendly. And then we are laminate it into some kind of HPL. So the performance is very like HPL, or high pressure laminate. The second one is cakes collection. This one is I collaborate with artisan maker from Tasikmalaya, West Java. We are very happy collaborating with the material of bamboo. So the bamboo we are potong, and then we are slide this into into 2 millimeter, and then we are laminate it together. In this case, we are already exhibit this collection in Tokyo, and give us a very good response, because from there we are having so many questions, so many not order, yeah, so many they think the material is very nice. Then the way we create, the way we evolve it into a contemporary, they get the point. See. And this is the new one. It's a private collection. At 2019, I finding in Nusa Tenggara Timur, there is a weaving from metal. They doing from long ago. This is something that I think really interesting. And then we are creating this coffee table. It's colliding two form, the simple half spherical form, and then the ornamental from our ancient temple in the Buddhism era. I think it's kind of, we still develop on this product. But the appeal, like I said, I want to give it a contemporary appeal. So so it will be easily to blend into a new style of interior and architectural. This Katulistiwa chair is very Asiatic. We designed it for Zuno Home, local brand from Indonesia. The design is using rattan as a core material, but the feeling about the rattan is very modern. It's very simple because usually rattan is very complexity because we have to think about the construction and they have to tie each other. And then in this design, I think around we are designing and then make it prototyping. I think like 7 times until we are get the right proportion, the right construction, and then the feeling is still very light. And then also the material, I think is very important to make it more contemporary. The right one is follow chair. We are very happy with weaving, wickering, because that was our tradition also. And then but we are try to finding the right composition to make it not too much, to make it simple, to make it easy to blend into the interior. This Royal collection is also using a wicker, but we're trying to create a very thin layer, because when we are creating a thin layer, we will have a feeling of contemporary, we will have a feeling of modernism. The idea is from the mat, the thicker, because thicker is very thin also, because in Indonesia we still using thicker. Maybe in other country they are already using rugs, but for us in Indonesia, thicker is an important object. This is a commissioned project from the Minister of Trading. We are try to combine a rattan with the plexiglass and fabric. Why we combine it? Because we wanted to have not just a constructively beautiful object, but we want to have some juxtapositioning between the material. So we have a new perspective of the material. This is the furniture for the Dio collection. Dio collection is a local brand from Jakarta. They are very young, but they are willing to using cultural context as one of the concept of all the products. The design is very Asiatic feeling, and then there is a twist in the detail, and then we using our teak wood from Indonesia, I think, because teak wood is one of the best wood in the world. So the design is like very modern, also very contemporary. And then we are taking the inspired by the meandering of Musi River. So in the side of the aging of the table, you will finding the like meandering the form. It is looks sculptural, but also very simple. And then the most important thing is the furniture must be really looking firm. And also because of the mono material, we can see the beauty of the wood, but within not very hard to production. Other design is for the every collection. This collection is quite for me it's very interesting because we take inspiration from the nasi tumpeng, the tutup of nasi tumpeng. It because nasi tumpeng or it's how to say it, because nasi tumpeng is a symbol of the celebration. So right now we are doing every day our works, and then we are apa we are selamat from the pandemic, and now we have this is the symbol, and we have to bersyukur, we have to grateful for everything that we have right now. And this symbol we are translate into lighting. The unique part is also the joining of the lampshade, because the joining itself should be the weakness, but with the story, I think we are trying to make it as a strong part, because of like tutup tumpeng. There is also we are mimicking the banana leaves actually. The material is from the 6mm plywood bending. I love using plywood bending because plywood bending is very effective material, and then less waste. I think one of the solution for our products. And this is also thicker lamps for every collection. The collection is also appear very simple. Sometimes we play with the mono material, and then inspired by the thicker, also the maps, the gesture when we are want to cleaning the maps. Also the same, we using plywood with a bending technique to emphasizing minimal use of material. This baju chair is for veranda living. The chair is also very simple look. Simple thing is not easy to make, because you have to take care all of the side is 180 degree, must be beauty. There is nothing to hide in very simple things, because for Studio Hendro Hadinata, designing is like easy listening music. Must be easy, because all the message to be hearing, you must be very simple things, you must be very easy listening, right? And the unique part is the joinery, the leg, and then the backrest. It's kind of baji, it's kind of we call it, it's how to say it ya, itu it's like pegang each other gitu. And then all the details also very light. The joinery, I mean. And this is the exhibition that I do for GFW. We are doing some kind of response for the phenomena of environmental degradation. We are doing 3 characters. endangered animal from the rhinoceros of Sumatra, and I mean Javanese rhinoceros, and then a Sumatran tiger, and then we do a character for shark whales. The idea is to give a feeling that anxiety, the feeling that we should take responsibility, we should wanted to know more about the animal and the issue also. This is for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much from Mr. Hendro. Any questions from the students? There was a very inspiring talk on how to actually appropriate cultural elements into modern design. It's very inspiring. I hope we can inspire our students to actually apply it. One way I look at this presentation is either you do the parallel, you apply cultural elements that you find in Malaysia, either in Chinese, Indian, or Malay culture, or even the native culture, and apply into your modern design. Or alternatively, another inspiration is that as an interior designer or architect, you can also venture into furniture and product design, like Hanidata is doing, which is perhaps even more interesting, yeah, than architecture and interior design. Which means you have probably a more appreciative client. Like he's so lucky, I see that he's got so many client has commissioned him to do private collection. You know, he's like an artist. The client comes to you to do private collection. It is so honored, you know, such an honorable position to be in. So right now, any questions from the students or staff?
Hi, Chawa. Hi.
Good, Mecca. Thank you for breaking the ice.
Yeah, I know. But I was actually looking. Thank you, Pak Hendro, for that interesting examination of the way you work and your inspiration. By right, things that are supposedly simple, quote unquote, that's the hardest to do because you apa tu sebagai satu summary, it's a summary of everything into the simplest element. You cannot take out one thing, you cannot add on one more thing. It's going to affect the composition.
Right.
So yeah, so I thought the lamp that you did, the bent plywood, I thought that was that monolithic mono element, right? I thought that was not that easy to bend plywood, isn't it?
Right.
It is not that easy to
Right.
bend plywood. But one of the things that I was interested, there were two things I was interested. One, you mentioned something about juxtaposition. Yeah. To get a new understanding or appreciation of the materials. Is there any other juxtaposition or combination of things that you do or you include in your design that you are interested to explore? For example, in terms of technicality ke ataupun details ke,
Thank you for the question, Pak. I think I really interested in technique of doing things, technique of making things. For me, it's very luxurious if we can find indigenous technique that people do it for a long time, and then we can maybe we can a little bit giving a modern touch, so it will be more relevant to the lifestyle of the right now lifestyle. I mean, of the interior and architecture. The one is, and then I really interested in the materiality also. If we can because right now everybody is we have some issue in the design world. So a design product should responsibility also. We have to with the engineer, with the material maker, we have to sit and then we have to talk about new material, how to create environment friendly material, and then give a space or room for a new material to grow. See,
Yeah,
the one is
right.
very important.
That's true. Maybe I think when it comes to these traditional materials, maybe some manufacturers are, I don't know, lah, I'm just guessing, they're a bit shy or afraid to commit because they're thinking about time and the cost. Sometimes it may cost more,
Yeah.
but I'm guessing in terms of the long-term sustainability and the strength of the products, it lasts longer, I suppose, when you give that attention to details, Pak Hendro?
Right, betul Pak. It's so right, so right.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
combining the traditional or tradition into a modern thing, it's something that really hard. It's not easy.
Yes. Right. Yeah. But sometimes people say it's traditional, but it's just what we say, just a little bit. They just take a little bit and then they interpret it. But I think it's good that that's something that I think the students and myself also we appreciate having that viewpoint from you. Maybe one more question from me, about sustainability. In what aspects have you incorporated sustainability in your design? And for the future, what would you like to do more in terms of sustainability?
Yeah. Things like using right material, and then understanding about the raw material, where the material come from. Like, is this if we're talking about wood, is this a legal or illegal logging? We have to know, because as a designer, we are in the front, right? We have to choose it. We have to talk to the manufacturer. We have to talk to the client that we have to start it to do real things, good things. And then other thing is we're trying to really understand the material. Like when you're using bending plywood, the waste of the material is very little, is very, right, that kind of thing. And then try to meet try the technique of using it into a manufacturer also is not easy, because not all manufacturers do this kind of thing, because it must be very precision and then takes time to do it. But when you want to create because right now market, everything is very thin, everything is very streamlined, everything is very light. I think they have to catch up. See, they have to catch up the techniques. See, there is no way they have to catch up. See.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Megat, for your interesting question in breaking the ice.
Thank you, Pak Megat.
Right now, we still don't have any question from students. Maybe I'll ask the next one. In terms of the limited edition furniture that you do, how many pieces do you do? Just one single piece, or are there a certain number of pieces for the private collection pieces?
Yeah,
just one piece?
No, we always do a 12 piece.
Oh, 12 piece.
Yes,
Okay,
it's representing 12 months of 1 year, because in 12 months you have good things, bad thing, and everything in 1 year, right?
I see. And the private collection, are they just, even if you make 12 pieces for them only, or are they selling them as well to others? For their own use only, or
yes,
limited to their own use?
Yes, limited
or they can sell?
Yeah. Actually,
for their own use only.
Yes, but actually the collection is not, we're not talking about only the business, but we're talking about to provoke the technique. I'm hoping that a lot of the designer also can see the message that sometimes the traditional, sometimes the indigenous technique can be created, can be found very modern also when the design is right. I think the provoke step see.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So it's a provocation to provoke people to rethink about how they can actually use the technique or material in modern design.
Right.
Very good, very good.
Right.
Thank you.
That's a good point.
Since
Thank
there's
you,
no
Pak.
other questions and the clock is ticking, we have heard Andrew sharing with us his design approach inspired from Mother Nature, tradition, and incorporating them into modern design and modern production technique. That has been very inspiring, also to me as an architect and as a designer. And I really enjoyed your presentation very much. Thank you. And there's only one slight
Thank you.
suggestion if I could suggest to you, is that you are presenting to a foreign audience like us, even though Malaysia and Indonesia quite close, but many of the things that you talk about, we actually don't have much inkling of what they are, you know.
Oh,
So I think in future presentation, if you can include some of the original item of inspiration, that will help your international audience to get a better understanding how you actually get inspiration from those objects or items and how you actually transform them into your modern design. Because right now my mind is trying to figure out what are you talking about, which because of our culture, some of the things I cannot imagine. Yeah. So, but anyway, still it's a
thank
very
you for the
inspiring talk. Thank you very much. So shall we now move to Dr. Indra? Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Good. Dr. Indra is, I think, Puan Nurus has actually introduced her. She's going to talk to us about the philosophy behind Indonesian classic batik pattern. I think she must be quite an expert in this area. I think you're still teaching in university, right? In various
Yes.
universities in Jakarta. So you're still involved in the academic world. And with that, I shall pass the floor to you. And as usual, I also like to ask our student to welcome you. Instead of clapping their hand, type in 333 to welcome Dr. Indra to the floor. 333 in Chinese means long live. Just not
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the floor is yours, Dr. Indra.
Thank you, Pak Chowa.
You can share screen, yeah?
Maybe firstly, I want to thanks for the Tunku Abdul Rahman University College and also HDII Jakarta for allow me to share in this evening or maybe afternoon or evening. Okay. And then I will apologize for my background because I can't flip my background.
No, you're fine.
The
You're fine.
image.
That's correct. Because you see the opposite, but we see right. So that's
really?
correct. That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, because I thought in the way
No.
around.
Oh, you're
Okay.
correct. You're right.
And then I also apologize. I can't rename my name in the what's that in the layar.
Yeah, I think
because
this one
it
you
should
can't.
be in the beginning. Yeah.
I think this one you
Batik
can't.
is actually it's
Zoom
my
you can, but this one maybe you can't.
yeah, that's right. Because Batik is actually is my activities outside the university. Okay. I try to share as Pak Mega tell me before. I hope I'm not forget to do it. Seluruh layar. And then okay, this little bit different with Zoom. That's why I have to
Zoom,
learn more. Okay, and then just minimize, right?
Yeah, betul, Bu. Yeah.
Yeah, this one. Okay,
Ya, nampak. Ya.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Should I speak in Bahasa Indonesia or in English? But my presentation is in English, so if I talk in Bahasa Indonesia, you also could read my presentation. The title is The Philosophy Behind Indonesian Classic Batik Pattern. So I'm talking about the pattern actually. This is already now. Firstly, I want to tell everybody about the definition of batik. This one I took from Oxford Dictionary, so it means everybody could understand. So according to this dictionary, batik is a method originally used in Java of producing color design on textile by dyeing or celup. But before that, they have to apply the malam panas first, or wax. Actually, we call hot wax. Yeah. Without this, we didn't call it batik. So this is not batik because this is a fabric with batik pattern. Because you could buy how many meters do you want, whether 2 meters, 3 meters, 5 meters, it's okay. But if a real batik, we can't do like this. So this is not batik, just textile with batik pattern. Okay. And then now I want to show you the process, how to make batik, the real batik. So firstly, we have to trace the pattern on the fabric. After that, we using chanting with hot wax. We writing on the fabric. After we have finished writing, you should write in the front and in the back. So you can't just doing in the one side. But the good batik, you should do the chanting or the writing in the both sides. Okay. After that, after finish chanting with hot wax, we are coloring or dyeing with the celup into the chemical or the natural dyeing. Yeah. After we finish with coloring or celup, we have to do the peeling of the wax. In Bahasa Jawa, we call it nglorot with D, Nglorod. Because if with in the at the end with T is different meaning. So be careful with that. So Batik Indonesia comes from the word of batik, comes from the Javanese word batik with TH, BATHIK. It means we make a pattern in a fabric, yeah, and involve the art and the deep feeling of the batik maker. The deep feeling we write in Bahasa Indonesia is rasa, but in Javanese language, we pronounce it with roso. So roso is a deep feeling of the batik maker. That's why if you buy a batik textile or textile with batik motif, that's not involves the deep feeling of the batik maker. That's why it's different. The process starts with prayer, and the batik artist usually fasting 40 nights and days to find the or get the imagination for the design. We've received the recognition from UNESCO in 2009. So the Indonesian batik is a living art related to local tradition and national pride. This image is batik made by Ibu Hartini, late Ibu Hartini. So this is what UNESCO said. So you may browse into internet what they said about the Indonesian Batik and why they give us recognition, because the Indonesian Batik has a rich symbolism related to social status, local community, nature, history, and cultural heritage. Provide Indonesian people with a sense of identity and continuity as an essential component of their life from birth to death, and continues to evolve without losing its traditional meaning. For me, Batik is a unique blend among history, culture, art, and lifestyle. So this is a glance of the Batik history. We believe Batik was origin Indonesia. The evidence is from the statue from the past, and Batik was developed in Yogyakarta Palaces, Surakarta Palaces, and it's called Forested London Batik, or Batik Larangan, or Larangan mean forbidden. The peak of Batik arts was in Yogyakarta and Surakarta Palaces. In my research, the Batik start in the 13th century, but maybe somebody else will tell you maybe from 8th century or 11th century. But for me, I'm start from the 13th century because I found the evidence since the 13th century. This is, for example, the statue, not for example, when people found the statue of Pratnya Parimita in Singosari, Malang. This is in East Java. So you can see in the leg of the statue, there's a pattern. And we believe the pattern is like a pattern in Batik now. So now I want to tell you about the Batik Forsten London, or in Indonesia, people said as a Batik Larangan, or forbidden batik. Why forbidden batik? Because these batiks only are may used by the people from the palace. So the first one, so this is the forbidden batik. So only for the royal family. The name of the pattern is Semen Ageng Sawat Gurdo pattern. Yeah. The meaning of this pattern is be a good leader. So people from the royal family may wearing this kind of batik, not the ordinary people. The second pattern, also for the royal family, is a hook pattern. The meaning of this hook pattern is a good leader. So maybe it's similar with the first one, the Semen Ageng Sawat Gurdo. Yeah? But each element of the batik is different. So don't ask which one is the semen, which one is the ageng, which one is the sawat, and which one is the gurdo. Yeah, because the composition like this, they call it, or the designer called semen ageng sawat gurdo. Also the hook pattern. The composition of this element, they call it hook pattern. The third forbidden batik, we call it Kawung Alit Gurdo pattern. The meaning of Kawung Alit is 4 strong energy from 4 direction. This is very related with the Javanese tradition. We call Kawung, if you know, adalah buah aren, yeah? Aren fruit. So if you know arenga trees, this is the fruit that usually you make for if you make an ice, es campur atau es teler. So maybe you know more if I call it that kind of kawung. Yeah, but actually this pattern is the oldest pattern in batik according to Kraton. Yeah? So, but not so many people know that this pattern is forbidden batik. That's why people very love to wear this kind of pattern, because if you wearing this kind of pattern, people directly know that this is batik. But I also just know that this pattern is a forbidden pattern. The other forbidden pattern, they call it parang barong pattern. The meaning of parang barong is strong leader. So if you're a leader, you have to be strong and wise, yeah, and to protect your people. Now, after I talk the forbidden batik, I want to share to you about batik for ordinary people that's related to the Javanese culture and tradition. When somebody propose or getting married, they usually melamar. Yeah, when you come to somebody home melamar the gadis. Yeah, so in this event, I suggested for the ladies wearing the sito asih on the left side. The up image is for Jogja style, and the bottom is Solo style. This is for the ladies. And for the boy or the man, I suggested wearing Satrio Manah pattern. So the meaning of Satrio Manah pattern is, in this case, in this event, is you are the only person in my heart. Yeah. But if the lady wearing Sito Ase, it means full in love. Hopefully, this lady will be disayangi oleh kedua belah pihak, ya. Apakah pihak keluarga wanita ataukah keluarga pria. Ya. After they propose the girl, usually they will be 3 months or 12 months before they married. Right? So before they married, in Javanese tradition, one day before they married, they have a kind of tradition that we call it siraman. Siram, it means having a bath. So I'm not really sure whether the English word is similar or not with siraman. Sometimes the people call holy shower. This is one day before they married. So this is me and my husband when my son getting married. So my husband and I should wearing a Chakra Pattern. This kind of batik. This is Chakra Pattern. Chakar actually is the feet of chicken, but we didn't tell it Chakar ayam, but only Chakar Pattern. The meaning of Chakar Pattern, we pray atau kami berdoa, hopefully my son will responsible and take care of the family, because with Chakar it means it's easy to get a rezeki, find a job, and then take care of the family. So this is example of the Javanese wedding ceremony with Solo style. So why I say Solo style or Surakarta style, not the Jogja style, because they're different pattern when they use for the batik. So Truntum pattern was used by the parents, both parents. If they're from Solo or Surakarta, they're wearing the Truntum Sri Kunchoro, sometimes without the Kunchoro. Kunchoro means like the pattern, like, what call it? Actually, Truntum is the star in the back. This is the Truntum. Yeah, but the Jogja style, Truntum, it's not star, but in here they represent kembang jeruk. Kembang jeruk is lemon flower. Yeah. The meaning of this pattern, it means love from the parents to their children. Even though they're already married, the parents still love them. But this is Asian tradition, I think, because di negara asing, Eropa, ya atau Amerika, mungkin mereka tidak mengikuti faham bahwa setelah menikah, ya biasanya anak-anak sudah bisa menentukan keinginannya sendiri, ya, tidak perlu tidak menginginkan bahwa orang tua ikut-ikutan, ya, berbeda dengan di Asia, ya. Nah, sedangkan ini, this is the Javanese wedding ceremony, Jogja style. I mean the pattern that they're wearing. So you can, the bride and bridegroom, they're wearing Sito Mukti. The brownish one is Sito Mukti solo style, and the white background is Jogja style. The meaning of Sito Mukti, it means long happiness. After they married, usually they've got a child, but I didn't present to you the tradition for the child because it's too long. So I only will share this kind of pattern. We call it batik tambal. Tambal means patchwork. Usually if our children or the children were sick, this batik will use as a blanket. So because they believe that with blanket batik tambal, the child will better. Yeah. But another friends of mine, he proposed this kind of pattern when somebody proposed, melamar, yeah, because he said the meaning of the pattern is to fill in each other, jadi saling mengisi. Oleh karena itu, kalau kita menikah, kita memerlukan saling mengalah dan juga saling mengisi. So that's why they suggested to use this kind of pattern. Not like me, I propose to wearing the Sito Asih and Satrio Mana. This kind of pattern, we call it slopok. This usually people wearing this kind of batik if they come to somebody pass away. Yeah. The meaning of this kind of pattern, hopefully the person who passed away get a better place atau dimudahkan perjalanannya menuju sang halik. Another batik pattern in Indonesia, we call it batik pesisir, mostly related to the north coastal area in Java and Madura, and only a little from the south coastal. For example, this is batik from Garut, we call it merak ngibing atau merak menari, ya, dancing peacock. Ya. Ini juga memberikan arti keceriaan, kegembiraan. Ya. Sedangkan ini batik dari Cirebon, we call it Megamendung. I believe everybody know this kind of pattern because it's very popular. But be careful, you call it Megamendung or cloud if the pattern is horizontal. Because if you draw, menggambar when you are a child, usually when ibu guru asking you to make a gambar, usually you draw a home and not a home, or maybe a gunung, a mountain, and then there's a sawah, a paddy field, and then you also draw the cloud, right? And the cloud should be horizontal. Some people think if you wearing a skirt horizontally, the megamendung horizontally, sometimes they feel they become or look like bigger. That's why sometimes people using it or wearing it with vertically, yeah, but it's not correct, because if vertical, it's similar with the megamendung, but this is, we call it wadasan, yeah. Wadasan is a rock. The wadasan pattern, the vertical, but the megamendung is horizontal. But it's up to you or up the designer if you want to change the pattern or the meaning. Okay. Another batik from Pekalongan. This is, we call it hokokai, but actually hokokai that influenced by the Japanese, it's only produced in 1942 until 1945. After that, we didn't call it hokokai, but Jawa Baru, because the Japanese already go back to their country. So this pattern become Jawa Baru. But if now the batik maker selling the Jawa Baru, nobody want to buy it, even though the pattern same. That's why they change the strategy, they change the name, become Jawa Hokokai. Yeah. But actually, the pattern Hokokai, Jawa Baru, or Jawa Hokokai is just the same. Yeah, that's influenced by the pattern from Japan. Another legendary batik from Pekalongan that start in 1925 is Uisuchun Batik. Yeah, this is a batik peranakan, Indonesian Chinese, and now that's already the third generation. But we are afraid that's only stop until the third generation, because the person, the owner or the granddaughter of Uisuchun is Ibu Widya, feel that already tired, too much order to make the batik. So maybe if she decided to stop, maybe Uisuchun is not here anymore. Okay. It's a pity actually, because her son doesn't interested to do the batik. But if interested, Ibu Widya said, if you can't make as fine as me, you may not use brand Uisuchun anymore. Maybe not everybody know that batik process have many kind of batik process. Handwritten batik or batik tulis, and then combination, batik tulis and chop. It means they stamp first the fabric. After that, the finishing touch or the detail they make with chanting. The batik tulis and chop. The third is batik chop. Batik chop, it means only stamp without combination. Yeah. And I also want to tell you there's another type of textile that people call batik, but actually that's not batik. That is fabric with batik pattern produced by machine without feeling, without rosso, and printing traditional. Printing traditional actually is a screen printing batik. Now, because I have to present this kind of material to interior profesi interior decorator, so saya menyelipkan batik as an interior element. This is just an example. If you have the furniture from rotan and then you give the cushion or bantal with the batik cover. Yeah. This is another example that the batik as a runner, yeah, atau taplak meja. Yeah. I've got this photo, and then I've gotten the idea that we can change the pattern. This is the Portuguese pattern. You can change with or substitute with the batik tambal pattern. This batik tambal came from Tuban area. They made in a special fabric that they woven by themselves. This is also batik tambal, but this kind of batik came from Garut. The people from Garut, they not call it batik tambal, but erih oncom. Oncom is a kind of food, like a tempe, yeah, but different. Okay. Mega mendung also popular if you could apply in your interior, whether that's for a cushion or for wall, yeah, or bed cover. It's very interesting or nice. This is semen gurdo. Semen gurdo is different with the forbidden batik. So this one you may use it as an interior. This is also the truntum gurdo. The truntum is the star in the background, and gurdo actually stilasi or stillation from Garuda bird. Yeah, but different person, different designer could design different bird like this or like this, or maybe like something else. Yeah. This is batik from Pekalongan that influenced by the Chinese. You also could use as an interior element. Yeah, that's very nice actually. Ya, orang biasa mengatakan ini batik peranakan. Ya. Ini juga batik peranakan, ya, with a bouquet pattern. Ya. Yeah, batik as interior element, it's okay. You may use it, but please do not use the forbidden pattern. As GRA Bendoro or the Sultan Hamengkubuwono X daughters asked in the seminar of Jogja International Batik Biennale, berkelanjutan batik pada generasi milenial. So she asked, please do not use the forbidden batik for the interior or something else. This is, for example, not to do. You see the napkins. The napkins is the parangurdo. Actually, is the forbidden pattern. Okay. You may find me in Google with the keyword Indra Cahyani or Batik workshop. Yeah, you can see all my activities in there. Okay. And then sekedar berbagi, just sharing. Dahulu, batik actually only for kain panjang, bukan untuk pakaian. But former Jakarta governor, he ruled Jakarta in 1966 until 1977. He introduced batik as a seragam, uniform or clothes. That's why since that, people know batik for everything, not only for kain panjang. Yeah, this is example batik designed by late Iwan Tirta for all the world leader for APEC conference in Bogor in 1994. And our world batik ambassador is Mr. Nelson Mandela. He always wearing Indonesian batik from the late Iwan Tirta. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I hope my talk is could interest you. Stop sharing.
Thank you very much, Dr. Indra. That was most inspiring, very interesting. I myself, as a Malaysian, I didn't know there's so much history, background into all these different type of batik. Do we have the same in Malaysia? Anyone can answer that? I really didn't know that there's certain patterns which are forbidden to be used.
Even not
and
all the Indonesian know that.
not many knows as well. Yeah,
Yes,
correct.
that's right.
Yeah, and also the influence from Japan, from China on the batik pattern is very interesting, and then a bit on the application of batik on interior design. The most memorable for me personally, the most memorable application of batik in architecture is
Yeah.
one of the hotels by what's his name, the Sri Lankan architect.
Jeffrey Bauer.
Jeffrey Bauer. He used it as a ceiling fabric at the lobby
Okay.
of the hotel, and that was very
Mhm.
interesting. But of course, it's a
You also
nightmare.
made for facade the
No,
building. You
not
also
for the
put
facade, for the ceiling
for
of the
the ceiling.
lobby, and that's
Yeah,
very
okay.
interesting. That's very nice. But of course, it's a nightmare for the operator to maintain it, lah.
Right.
Because the fabric do deteriorate, and very hard to find
Mm.
replacement for them in future. So there must be some way of making them more permanent. Okay, I see. Very good. Now this afternoon, this second session, we have one question from student
We-
or Wu Tong Leong. Can batik be worn casually or only when during formal occasions? That's very valid questions. Yeah, can batik be worn casually or only during formal occasions?
Yes, you can. You can wearing the batik every day to campus. It's keren tau. Ke kampus pakai batik. That's keren. Cool. So you may to campus wearing batik, not only to a party, but sometimes if in a party, people wearing the good one, special special pattern. But actually, every pattern you can use to go everywhere, yeah, to
I
campus
see.
or to visit somebody or yeah.
Next is a more interesting one. How about in funeral? If you're attending a funeral, is there a particular batik only you can use for attending a funeral? This is from Ying
Yes.
Zi Liu.
The slowbook pattern is just suggested, but you may wearing any pattern actually. But if you wearing the slowbook pattern, it means we pray, mendoakan, lebih banyak yang mendoakan semoga yang berpulang, yang wafat itu dilancarkan perjalanannya.
Oh, okay. So, okay. Next is from Dini. You have shown different processes of batik making. Usually, how long does it take to make one batik? Maybe like tablecloth, a simple piece of tablecloth. How long would it take to make?
If you make a batik tulis using chanting, the handwritten batik, it depends. If the fine one, maybe 1 year, 2 years, and 3 years.
Wow.
But there's another, so it depends on how fine the pattern. 1 month, that's possible. 3 months possible, 6 months possible. All what's called berhubungan juga dengan harga. How fine and how much the price. If you're looking for the 300,000 batik tulis, there is. But if you're looking for the 30 million batik, also there is. So it depends.
So it's like artwork lah. It's like artwork.
That's right. That's an artwork.
Yeah.
Okay. If batik chop is cheaper.
Okay, let's go to the next question by student Ang Chong Yi. He asked, what do you think the future of batik will go as to preserve the tradition and to continue exploring more composition and set up a new tradition for the future generation? So how do you see the future of batik art or batik industry in Indonesia?
I think the batik industry will still good in the future, and that's our maybe my job to ask the young generation to keep the tradition. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because our hope is only to the young generation to continue the tradition. But I believe there are still many young generation who will continue the tradition.
So what are the efforts the government is doing to promote the use of batik? Like here we have a Batik Friday, isn't it? In certain government department or certain organizations. How about in Indonesia? We have any promotion, anything to promote the wider
Yes,
use
there's
of it?
the offices maybe twice a week they wearing batik. Binus also like that, but not for the student. But in my class, I always encourage the student when they present their work, please wearing the batik, because if
so it's
you
like
wearing
formal
batik,
wear.
it's cool. I told them like that.
You feel
But-
if you don't wear batik. So Nuruz, Idara, you can implement that. If you don't wear batik to present, you fail.
Every day I work, I go to the university wearing kain kebaya.
Oh, okay. So interesting thing is the next question coming up is how to differentiate between Malaysian and Indonesian batik.
That's interesting question. We would like to know as well.
Yeah.
It's interesting because one day when I visit Malaysia, I forgot what year, and I came to a kind of exhibition, batik exhibition from Malaysia. When I asked the batik maker, actually the ancestor is from Java.
Oh, I see.
Did not real Malaysia, because they said our ancestor, our grandfather also came from Java. They said like that. So, but no worries, you can develop different design.
Have you been to Kuala Lumpur?
Me? Yes, at the time with the Open University, I visit to uni, but I forgot the name of the uni.
Oh, okay. Actually, we have a very interesting museum called the Textile Museum in Kuala Lumpur. Next time when you come here, you must either you contact us, we take you there, or whoever you're with, you must ask them to take you there. The Textile Museum, where they do the history of batik in Malaysia, in use in fashion and other application in Malaysia.
Yeah, we have to pray pandemic will gone first.
True. Okay, any other question from the students or from the staff? If not, we may wrap it up. I think it's been quite an interesting afternoon. We all have learned so much, not to be inspired.
We have one question here.
Okay, Dr. Indra, in your opinion, is it a good thing to modernize batik industry to preserve the tradition?
What's it?
Modernize.
Yeah. I think we have to develop the batik pattern. The batik pattern could be different designer could design differently. So maybe the classical batik still there, but the new design we can always develop it. So no worries. So we can go together, berdampingan, yeah. Preserve the classical motif, and we also develop the new motif.
Okay, thank you. Since Andrew, are you still here? Since you're here, maybe we can get you to chime in on what is your view on batik in interior.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Have you used batik in your interiors, or do you think you can use batik in future in your in your product design?
I think somehow I feel there is a little bit misleading of using batik in the interior. Like several of the ceramic brand, they use it in the floor, and then I think it's a wrong to use it in the floor. See?
Yeah, the forbidden batik may
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
use in the floor,
Yeah, yeah.
like in Ponorogo, Kulon Progo, new airport,
Oh.
right?
Right. So
Oh,
when we
okay,
want to
okay.
do design inspired by batik, I think we should learn and digging deeply into the pattern and everything.
Yeah, very important. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Early, we have another question from Senli Yuana.
Okay. Is the process of making batik in Java same as making batik in Eastern Indonesia?
Eastern Indonesia, it means
Eastern
contohnya
is
Eastern di mana ya maksudnya?
Sulawesi, ya?
Yeah,
Barat
Senli.
Timur. Because originally batik came from Java, yeah, and people from other area usually came to Solo or Jogja, learn how to do the process of making batik. But people may develop their own technique, but the original one is like what I told you before. So they have to use the hot wax enchanting and then dicelup when they give the color. But some people not using enchanting, they use another tool. It means it's not the classical batik, but they may develop the technique by themselves. Yeah. So I believe if they call batik, they will always use the hot wax and dyeing it. But because of the perkembangan zaman, ya, sekarang every places they develop their own batik. For me, it's okay. Itu kan membuka pasar baru, terutama di masa pandemi, people need how to find a job. Yeah, that's why people doing different thing, not the real process, but they develop the process with their own.
I see. Okay, thank you. I think with that we shall
I
wrap
think
up.
we have another one.
Oh, is it? I didn't see.
From Pak Megat. Question
Where
from
I
Pak
just-
Megat.
How do you take good care of batik to last for generations? How do you preserve batik to keep it for a long time?
Oh, okay. You mean make the future still batik in there?
No. The current. Let's say you buy a batik dress or batik tablecloth or runner. How do you keep them
okay.
to last long time?
Yeah.
What are the technique of keeping them?
Yes, you may not washing with detergent.
Oh.
In Jawa, usually we use a kind of fruit. We call it larak, but now there's already some people produce in the bottle batik cleaner. They call it like that. So it's better using that. If you couldn't find the batik cleaner or the larak, the fruit, you may use baby shampoo, because baby shampoo is less chemical. So make your batik not fade, tidak pucat ya, tidak berubah warnanya ya. And then when you have a long skirt batik kain panjang, because I never cut the batik, I always using kain panjang. So don't fold it too much. We call it wiru. In the front, sometimes people make a pleated, like a pleat skirt, like that. Pleats, yeah. So when you menyimpan kain, sebaiknya pleatnya itu dilepas. Because if too long you use the pleat and fold it, they will tear. Akan sobek lama-lama di lipatannya. So it's better once a month or 2 bulan sekali Anda menjemur, diangin-anginkan, bukan dijemur. Just put in the shade to make the batik not tidak lembab. Tidak lembab tuh apa ya? Okay, yeah.
How about dry cleaning? Dry cleaning process.
Do not do that.
Okay.
So you have to wash by your hand. You can put in the washing machine. If the real batik. If the real batik. If that's a printing, it's up to you.
Never mind.
Tapi the real batik, you have to wash by your hand, by yourself.
Okay. I think that's about all. Anyone else? We have some of your friends from Indonesia joining us as well. Is it? Ika Madiana, where are you from?
Yes, I know her.
Hi.
Hi,
Everybody.
Your friend. Hi. Thanks for
I'm
joining
actually
us.
in my gudang, my warehouse at the moment because I happened to be stuck here. I didn't feel actually very good about it and keep on switching it off. Yes, Ibu Indra kindly invited me because this few days also we were involved with a Zoominar about batik and with the ecoprint, whether ecoprint is threatening batik. So it was a discussion.
Okay. All right. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, with that we shall wrap up today's session. Thank you very much for Dr. Indra, and thank you very much Mr. Hendro and Idara and Nuruz and Megat and all the other staff for the background, and Rina as well for all the hard work to make this webinar a possibility. And we really enjoyed the talks. I'm sure the students are all inspired, and we'll see people wearing batik for their presentation from now on. If not, they will fail. Yeah, that's a new policy. And we will
Please
see
visit
more,
my website.
Yeah, and we'll see more modern design, furniture design in Malaysia, inspired by our tradition and inspired by Hendro. And hopefully we can have this once a while, once a year or something. Continue to have this exchange. Maybe we can invite some Malaysian designers to present to the Indonesian students as well, and there'll be a good continuous exchange. So with that, thank you very much, everyone. Have a good day, and we'll see each other again one day. Thank you very much.
Right.
Bye for now.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone. Before we end our session, can we take another one round photo?
Yeah, for those who just joined us, yes.
Yes. Switch on your camera. Okay.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Oh, we have a
you.
poet
Okay.
joining us also.
Yes.
Joe Flanagan to join us. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Some other Nana.
Okay. Yeah, Faidora.
Okay, already.
Vidora.
3, 2, 1. Hang on, one more. Wait.
Okay.
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 All right. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, everyone.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much,
See you
Ibu.
Until we see you again.
Dr.
Until we meet
Indra,
again.
Pak
Ibu,
Indro.
Daura,
Semuanya,
everybody,
terima
thank you ya.
kasih.
Terima
Thank you
kasih
semuanya.
banyak.
Ibu,
Bu Indra, Pak
semuanya,
Indro.
Pak
Izin ya,
Hendro,
pamit.
Pak
See you.
Makasih, Mas Andre.
Liwa, thank you. Teman-teman dari
Thank you,
Wastra,
bye-bye.
makasih ya.
Thank you.
Andre,
Bye-bye.
thank you
Bye-bye.
ya.
Bye-bye.
Terima kasih Bu Rina.
Thank you everybody. Ya, sama-sama.
Ibu Rina. Ibu Rina, kebetulan
Yes.
ada dekan kami di sini, Surveyor Ui,
Oh,
Mr.
is it?
Ui, baru
Mister?
Mr. Ui Leong, Surveyor Ui Leong.
Oh, Leong.
Ya.
Okay, nice to meet you, Mister.
Singgah sebentar ada di bawah
Makasih banyak ya, Pak. Makasih banyak, Pak Megat.
Ya, terima kasih Ibu.
Yeah, it was so.
Selepas ini, saya rasa perkongsian hari ini sangat menarik.
Yeah, it was
Saya pun
packed
belajar
and
banyak
full.
ya tentang batik dan juga tentang furniture design, tak boleh basuh.